Hey there, YouTube. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make two videos today, I hope. I'm going to make this one first. This is a blood type video. And I just want to sort of quickly analyze with you guys my findings. And, you know, earlier, my earlier blood type videos, I really delved into origins and went through old scripture and Bibles and stuff, sort of looking for, you know, I was sharing that, looking for, you know, why we're separated out into these groups and where the origins of that are from. And, you know, thank you for going there with me. It's not really easy to talk about things that separate us out like that. And so as I've gone deeper into this, I want to take a really sort of different approach and share it with you guys. And I'm actually going to change subjects for a while after this. So, blood types, where shall I start? So we started before with the glyphs, right? We have the, oh, I have these. ABO. A. B. And O. So there you go. And you got your AB. I'm not going to leave you guys out this time. I've figured some stuff out about the AB blood type, which really is not its own blood type. It's it's a person who holds the frequency of two separate blood types, which is really actually pretty intense. So you've got your ABO, and these are, you know, these are glyphs that they use. It's not like this is alphabetical. It's not ABC. You know, I think a lot of us sort of just automatically think of it that way because of our alphabet, but glyphs are used very purposefully. So I think I've sort of been reading into these a little bit more. And the A, start here, the A blood type, you know, what does that look like to you? The A. Because I'll show you what it looks like to me. I'm going to say right away, too, don't get offended at anything I say early in this video, because I'm going to bring this round for everybody. So don't like hear me say something about a blood type and be like, that's my blood type, screw you. Because there's a reason why it's rolling out this way, and I want to try to explain that. And for me to do that, you know, at first maybe it's going to seem jarring, but don't let it rattle you. Just see me through to the end. We are all wonderful and beautiful and have the opportunity to do what we want with our blood. So I'm going to draw this. We do have origins of where this stuff comes from. So this is what the A blood type looks like to me. Okay, descendants of the Watchers. And I've said that before, that they're descendants of the Watchers, right? So there's your A. I wonder if I have to draw it backwards for you to see. Probably. Yeah. And then there's the B blood type. And what that started looking like to me is, of course, just that toroidal field, the electromagnetic, you know, polarized fields, the bowl-shaped electromagnetic fields, the toroidal field, you know, the 8. Maybe I'll say something cool about that in a minute. Okay, so that's what that one looks like to me. And then you've got your O. I don't really need to draw it. It's an O. I'll draw it anyway. O. What does that look like to you? A portal. It's a portal. That is a portal. Okay, so, and I think these are playing out in kind of a cool way. So that's how I see those glyphs. And they don't really use glyphs without intention. So I really felt that the labels that they were putting on this were very relevant. You know, same with the RH factor, the X, and the minus. So let's figure out how exactly to get into this. So you have what I've stated before, your earthling, your original, your B. There aren't many left. It's a very small percentage of the population. We've gone over the graphs before. You want to go back to ABO Blood Types, one of the early videos. You can see that it is 7% of the population, I think, is a B, and like 1.5% a B negative. I've only ever met 2. So you have your original Earthling, right? Which, you know, if you're really a human and you really belong here, this is you, whether they tell you this is your blood type or not. So you've got your A's. Your A's come in first. Your alpha, right? We talked about that before. The alpha, the beta, the omega, the beginning, the middle, and the end. Okay, so your A's come in, and that's your first genetic interference. That's the first time that they come in and interfere with the blood frequency that existed here in the garden, in the golden age. And you'd think, you know, they did it just through breeding, which has been the way that it has gone for a while. But one of the more or less obvious interferences here is actually food. So what I'm discovering is, and we've talked about blood frequencies before, so all these different types are different frequencies within the blood. And within those frequency types, there are infinitely more frequencies within your blood. So the frequency of your blood can be changed from this to this. And a lot of it is through food. So you've got little sugars that sit on your blood cells, and they all vibrate on a certain frequency. And so depending upon what you eat is what is the dependency upon which the frequency of your blood that you will receive. So when they came in, when the watchers came in, and, you know, we did that video. I don't want to do too much review. You know, if you're not following me, just go back and look at some of my other stuff. We did this video about the watchers, right? They come down, and they come into the well, right? And they come in when it's blue sky. They come in to feed. They come into our cell to eat it. They come in here to eat it. Why? Because it's dying. We're in the death cycle, which I talked about a little bit in my last video. So they're coming in on purpose to feast and eat the dead cell, and to get you to help them, to get you to do it with them. And they enlist you and so forth, because it's a lot easier for them to accomplish what they're going to accomplish if they have their slave class, right? So they're going to turn the B into an A. And they're going to do it through food, and then through the shifting of it through the food, through breeding, of course. And bless all the A's out there who are A's currently, who are not feasting on flesh and blood. If you're an A and you're a vegan, right on. You're doing the right thing. You are transmuting, this. If you're an A and you do eat flesh and blood and you eat meat and you think that's right, okay, you know, you're probably just helping them eat the dying cell. So what I'm going to say today is that's okay. Go ahead. You know, if that's what you feel called to do, then that's what you should do. And in my next video that I'm hopefully going to make today, I'm going to bring this around to something that's, it's just going to make everybody feel better. Okay. So the A has its purpose. The purpose is to eat off the dying cell and to dominate the alpha, to dominate and to come in and to rule and to, where did that go? And that's what they do. You know, they're the watchers, they're the alpha, they're the eaters, and they're here to do their job. It's their job to do this, okay? So a lot of B's get turned to A's. And that's what's going to bring me around to the AB blood type. The AB blood type, bless you, ABs. You know, you guys are holding the frequency in your bodies of 2 separate types of blood in one vessel. So the purpose of these ABs is that they're spitting back out Bs. Now, an AB mother can have an A or a B, but if she has multiple children, she is likely to have at least a couple of Bs, at least one B, you know. So the AB blood type is an attempt on the body's part to bring back this frequency. And the AB person, you know, as I looked into that, and I say, you know, bless you guys, as the holder of two frequencies like that, you guys are, you know, you're very conflicted people. Not conflicted, maybe that's not the right word, but you have access to two very different frequencies. You have access to that alpha and that beta. So within you is the ability to be a seeker of glory, to be the one, to be on top, to dominate, to eat, okay? And it's probably, for a lot of you guys, especially the AB positives, probably the dominant force that you feel. But you have this just as strongly. It's in there. So you can't also help being kind. You can't also help being uncooperative, because bees are uncooperative. You know, I had somebody come in and say a bunch of stuff about bees and how they're hive-minded and they're all Chinese and stuff. And people, these are lies that they are telling you about blood types. Look deeper than that. This is not about race. All the blood types exist in all the races, all around the world, in all the cultures. There's no exempt from that. So it is not about color, race, or anything like that. We're talking about blood. And they went into China and they did kill a lot of bees. Okay, they've been murdering bees the whole time. Why do you think there's so few of them? We all populate and do this. They're holding this one down for a reason. This is a lover. This is a kind person. This person, the B blood type, you can look up diet for blood types. And this blood type, it says don't eat any meat. It says it right there in the book. Because they're tenders of the garden. They're friends of the animals. They're the earthlings. They are the earthlings. Okay? So, and they are uncooperative. They are uncooperative. They don't conform easily. You know, they have their own minds. They like to do a lot of different things. They get bored easy. Okay? So when you hold both of these frequencies and you're an AB, you have that sort of conflicted nature within you. It's like you're probably a person who's going to ask yourself a lot, like, well, do I take it this way or do I go this way with it? Do I show up like this or do I show up like this? And you're probably showing up like this more because it's way easier in this world to be an alpha. You know, you're going to get along with people better a lot of the time, except for when you're not. And you can pull out your B. And probably if you're a parent, you know, if you're a mother or father, you let your B reign. You pull that frequency in, and you use that because that's the arena where it works. That's what your child needs. That's what your dog, or cat needs, or your cows, or whatever animals that you might have in your life. So the ABs are beautiful. The ABs hold two frequencies in their blood of two completely different aspects. And they hold them in balance with each other, and they get to choose. And more importantly, if they reproduce, they're going to bring some bees into the world. They're giving the bee a chance. Okay, the ABs give the bee a chance, and a lot of ABs have A children as well. You know, it's not like ABs just have Bs. They don't. My mother is an AB. And she had both A and B children. So, and then her family also A's and B's. And there's a lot of conflict in my family. There's a lot of issues with the A's and B's in my family. Because when you're in a family and not everyone has the same blood frequency, it's felt. You know, the child that has the father's an A and an A child comes out, they're likely going to connect. Although sometimes the A and B can do well together, and it really depends on the frequencies of sugars and that vibrate on the blood cells that I was talking about. So it depends on their diet, sort of also how they're going to get along with each other. So that, that's what I want to say about the ABs. They really are special people. There's very, very few of them. They're very, very, very rare. And more than that, the AB negatives are even more rare. I've never met an AB negative. My mother was AB positive. So let's talk about the O. Boom. Where does this O come from? This O blood type, this portal. Well, I'm going to try to explain it how it works in my mind. Take it or leave it. The O comes in as the great equalizer, is what I'm going to call the O. The O comes in to balance this force. If the A just came in and had a free-for-all on its own, it would just be like, they'd just be here eating. But that can't happen. The body, your biological, the cell is biological. We've talked about that. Your body has all kinds of ways that it deals with things that go wrong in the body, right? There's antigens that come in. There's not antigens, that's wrong. Antibodies. There's white blood cells. There's things that your body does to help clean itself up and rid itself of infection or necrotic stuff or whatever it is. So, as a balancing force, in comes the O. So we have like diatomaceous earth on my desk. It's like weird. Okay, there's the O. The O comes in as the great equalizer, the balancing force to this A. So these, like I've said before, these are your warring factions on Earth. And they are in opposition to each other because and they balance each other out. So the negative part of the O that we've talked about was murder for gain, right? The O is what? Omega, right? Look at that. Omnipresent. It is the end, okay? And it comes in as the third blood type sort of to finish it, right? And that's why the O is such a powerful blood type, and it has balancing properties to the A. And the O will murder the A. The O will come in and be like, no, you don't get to have all of it for yourself. I'm taking it, and I'll kill you to take it also. So that's the sort of murder for gain pack, the thing that the O frequency was willing to do. And these aren't wrong, okay? This is necessary for the cell to die. These have to come in to do the job, to clear the cell out. That's why, I believe that, the mud floods and all of that, I believe that happened in the 1790s. I was going to do a video about that and the timeline and stuff and what I saw happening there, but so many people do videos about mud floods. I don't know, I just felt like I didn't want to jump on that bandwagon. But I think it happened in the 1790s, and they had to have time to mine and log and tear down what was here to the best of their ability while they reorganized the humans, the earthlings or whatever, and the bites. And so eventually, these two come into play together, and they, like I said, they balance each other out. So the O is the blood with no antigens in it, right? So kind of like the AB blood type is special, the O blood type is very cool because it has no antigens in the blood. And so B's can come through O's. And one of the things that, and they thought that wasn't true for a while, but they did umbilical cord testing. Umbilical cord testing on every baby that's born to an O mother has A and B in it. They're all together, okay? It's separated out like this because we're eating this dead cell. We need these guys. We need them to come in their potency and their power and their willingness to do the dirty work. Okay, these guys are willing to do the shite. What is the shite? You know, we're talking about war and stuff like that, but also, you know, what we do to animals. You know, these people own slaughterhouses. These people own these factory farms and so forth, and probably a lot of other things that I don't even know about. Probably wouldn't even want to know about. You know, we discover all that kind of stuff on YouTube all the time about what's really going on in the world and what they're really doing to children and mothers and stuff like that. And I just want to say that it's their job. As awful and disgusting and terrible and satanic and all of that it is, and it is their job to do it. And so they've bred with us all here. So we're all ABO now. We all have one of these frequencies, or some of us two. But most people just have one. All of these frequencies going on within our blood. And you know what I think is going to happen? Because you see what I'm saying about the frequencies. And so if you eat a vegan diet and you have a particular frequency or sugars on your blood, then you're not a feaster and an eater here. You're not taking part in the dying off of this cell. You are holding and grounding the frequency of the other world, right? How we all would like it to go back to, which it is about to go back to. So there's O's that do this, there's B's that do this, and there's A's that do this. So there isn't any particular blood type within the people, within the humans that are here, that are, that nobody's better than anybody or anything like that. Just because this is the original origin, doesn't mean that you as an A are not this. You are. The frequency is going to change. So I'm going to make another video here, hopefully today, about something incredibly powerful. I think it's my most important video that I'm ever going to make. And I'm going to talk about this and how, see, it has the middle path here, the center. How we are either going to all three of these turn into this together, to this frequency, and I'm sure we'll have multiple frequencies within that as well, as we do now, or it's like we all just hold all three within us and this one will dominate. I think that's really what I'm saying, because these two aren't going to just disappear. They're going to be held somewhere within the body, because at some point it'll come back around to this. Somewhere in the body, if not here, another cell. And these are needed. You have to have them. It's a very, very vital, important part of the process. So thank you, A's, for doing your job. Thank you, O's, for doing your job. Thank you, B's, for holding down the fort. And so if you're an A positive, I think I said this before, you're an A positive and you're a vegan, thank you so much. If you're an O positive and you're a vegan, awesome, thank you. If you're RH negative and you are not a vegan, it's going to hurt. Don't do it. Don't help them feed. It really is not your role. Put down the pork sandwich and think about it. It is vital to, if you're an RH negative, to consider your diet and what it really means. You are biological. You are the body within the body. That is who and what you are. And there's no getting around that. And it is what they've pulled us all away from, right? Do all these tattoos and body modifications and feast on flesh and blood and drink all this alcohol. And that is the culture, to do whatever you want, to slice yourself up, and there's a reason for that. It's they want everybody to do that because it's the tear down, breakout process. And I'm going to take that to a next level on my next video and explain the disaster of those choices. Okay, and you can look at it both ways. to me, it's disastrous because it's like, whoa, that's not the choice that I want to make. I don't want to go that way, which is fine. I'll just come back around. But I do want to stay in the well. So, you know, I agree that diet is a personal choice, and you have every right to eat whatever you want. You do. You get to make that choice. I don't get to make it for you. Nobody on YouTube gets to make it for you. And that's how it works. It's your call. It's your call. I just want to be the person who says there are consequences to our actions. There are. You can't just do whatever you want and have no outcome. And if you've lived life for any amount of time, you know this. You know that the choices you make matter. And some, you know, often they're invisible to us, and we figure out later, it's like, oh, I did that and I received all that shit for it. So, and that's because we're blinded here. You know, it's hard. The choices are harder here. You know, they have us blinded for a reason. It's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. They can't eat it all and tear it down to get it back to the growth cycle without your help. So if you're choosing meat and you're choosing that stuff, just know that that's what you're doing. Just know that you're helping to kill off the cell, okay? And that when the moment comes, when the shift happens, that your experience will have to do with that choice that you make. And you'll be fine. We're all safe. We are all safe. You know, all this stuff that's being said on YouTube right now about the mud floods and all of this, it's truth upside down. I'm going to say it in my next video. So stick with me. I'm going to try to get them both out today. So I kind of think that is the bulk of what I really wanted to say about these blood types. Reading DNA interference. Yeah. This doesn't have to be a long video. Great. So what I'm going to do, oh, you know what? I do want to say another thing too about, you know, people get all offended about these types and stuff. I looked up compatibility of blood types. A's really like to hang out, positives, hang out with B positives. Don't always get along with the B negatives. There's always sort of the issue in that relationship of someone wanting to dominate, and then this one sort of not really being cooperative about it. So while they tend to seek each other out, there can be conflict. A's do great with other A's. Guess who the O's best matches? B's. Everybody wants a B. And it's true. These two get along awesome. This is actually a really, really good match. And this is why you should know your blood type, just so you can factor some of this stuff in. And, you know, if someone comes along and breaks all the rules and they're totally different, great. Because there's so many frequencies within the blood that somebody who's A positive and stuff can really break the mold. They can. They can totally break the mold through their frequency and not be the typical A. So these two are a really, really awesome match with each other. If you've had a lot of shitty relationships and you don't know why, you may have been with a bunch of A's, like if you're a B or you're an O, and you maybe should seek out O to O, O to B. Now the B's, this I thought was funny, the B's get along great together, but B positives and B negatives can have really intense issues with each other. Their frequencies do not match, and since they're so similar with unmatching frequencies, there can be a little bit of tension in that relationship. So a B negative with a B negative, awesome. B positive with a B positive, it's going to be really good. But when they get together, there can be it's just not a match, not a great match. So I thought that those blood type match stuff kind of indicated a little bit of what I was seeing when I looked at these blood types. So we are all separated out into blood type and frequency, but we are all going back to one place together. So that is what I want to say about the blood types. So what I'm going to do is a colleague of mine here in town and I are going to start conducting a blood study. And I'm going to give myself the year to do it. It's going to take me a while. I want 100 subjects who are willing to participate. And they have to be local people here because they have to do their blood test in front of me. I'm not keeping anyone's blood. I don't want anyone's blood. I'm not going to touch anybody. But they have to do their test in front of me so that we know for sure what blood type they are without any doubt. And we're conducting a test for each person to take, which in the end is anonymous, you know, like we know who's in the study and who's who, but we're not going to have like names associated. It's just going to be like your blood type and gender and stuff like that. And I'm going to do my own blood study because as I've gone into this, so much is just told to me by white coats. And, you know, I have to dig so deep. And that's why I went into the Bible and the origins and stuff like that, because it's not a white coat telling me what's up. And as I look into the biology as well, I find more mysteries than I find things solved. And it's because these medical people, they're all specialized. Like, yeah, there's some of them are smart people, but really they're trained for years in college. And they're not just trained just to know their stuff. They're also trained to respond and react a certain way, talk a certain way, all of that. So these people know certain things about the body, but they know something very specific about certain aspects, a certain function, a certain place on the body, a certain thing. They don't have none of them have a head to toe understanding of the body. You know, people study nutrition, people study bones, people study blood, but never does all of it meet. And I think that's very much on purpose. So for me, I'm wanting to conduct something where I can, as just a human being, look at it myself. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do my own blood test study. I'm really excited about it. I'm doing it on my own time, so I'm giving myself time to do it. And hopefully at one point I'll come back and share more of what I have learned about the different blood types. And I hope that all of that made sense to you guys today. I just want to reiterate that we're all really playing an important role here. And our choices are our choices, and they're all okay. So you never get it wrong, and you never get it done. And it's all good. So bless you all. Keep this short so I can make my next video and share some really awesome shit with you guys. All right, talk to you soon.